Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for a very special and exciting webinar all about Barbados. My name is Anna. I'm an Industry Relations Manager here at CLIA, and I'm going to just quickly go through some housekeeping before introducing our presenters. The webinar will run about 45 minutes with time for questions at the end. Please feel free to type your questions into the questions module of the webinar, and we'll get to them at the conclusion of the presentation. The webinar is being recorded and will be posted on CLIA's YouTube channel, which is CLIA Global. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce our presenters. Today, we're going to hear from Tia Brooms, who is Senior Business Development Officer Cruise for Barbados Tourism Marketing. And she is joined by Kyle Gittins, also from Barbados Tourism Marketing, and Richard Whitaker, Manager of Strategic Accounts with the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection. So with that, take it away, Tia.
Thank you, Anna, so much. Good afternoon, everyone, and we really appreciate you taking the time today to come and sit with us to hear all about Barbados and all the exciting stuff that's happening on the island, all the exciting programs that we have coming up for you, our travel advisor partners. And of course, as Anna said, we're thrilled to have Richard from the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection with us, and he's going to share all of their amazing super luxury vessels that they have coming into the market, and of course all of their sailings on Barbados. So we're just going to give you a couple updates as to what's happening on island protocols wise. So we've pretty much come to the end of our cruise season at the end of April, so we're on pause until September, unfortunately. But at the moment, the protocols for cruisers remain on pause, and based on some preliminary discussions that we've been having with our partners on island, we believe that by the start of the season, we will no longer be speaking about cruise protocols. The protocols for entry into Barbados overall have changed. There is no longer the requirement to be tested to come to the island, which I'm sure that everybody is super excited about. So, you can come on down to Barbados. Of course, mask wearing, especially indoors and in large gatherings, is still being encouraged. But in open public spaces, that's voluntary. So we're kind of moving away to the end of COVID, pretty much. So just to give you a summary of what our winter season is going to look like cruise-wise, we have quite a few of our usual cruising partners that will be calling at the Port of Bridgetown, both port of calls, transit calls, as well as home porting. And just to share some of the new ships that we will be welcoming to the end of this season, we're going to have the Seaworld Adventure, we're going to have the EVRIMA from Ritz-Carlton, Rhapsody of the Seas. As many of you would know, we had Grandeur of the Seas, that was the first Royal Caribbean and North American ship to home port out of Barbados, and that was really a step change for the island and the Southern Caribbean as a whole. But Rhapsody is going to replace the Grandeur beginning in December, offering those same 7 to 14 itineraries out of Barbados. So we encourage you to book your clients to sail out of Barbados on that lovely Rhapsody of the Seas. And of course, we always encourage all of our partners, when you're booking sailings out of Barbados, to be sure to add the pre and post component so they get to experience all that Barbados has to offer. We also are going to have Scenic Eclipse, Celebrity Infinity, and both MSC Seaside and Seashore. And here are the lines out of North America that will be porting in Barbados. More of the scale, smaller high-end vessels. So we have the Windstar, Seabourn, Star Clipper, Silver Sea, Sea Cloud, Sea Dream, and of course Royal Caribbean, as I just mentioned. So what's new on the island and what's happening? Well, Cooperative is not new. We haven't done it for 2 years, so we're gonna be engaging in this activity in a very meaningful way and catching up on 2 years of not being able to enjoy our Sweet and Summer Festival, which has already begun and is very much in full swing on island with a number of effects, what you guys call parties. We're going to have the opening ceremony for the beginning of the festival, even though events have already started. And of course, we're getting ready for our 4-day morning jubilee which I believe is on the 31st of July. And then, of course, our big jump up day, which is the first Monday in August. So anybody who is looking for a party, who's looking for a good time, and of course to come to Barbados to enjoy our sweetest summer carnival, I encourage you to put your clients to come to Barbados. Our hotels are very much open. As I said, major relaxation in protocols. So come on down to Barbados and enjoy the Cooperative Festival. And of course, our Barbados Food and Rum Festival is back this year after the 2.5-year hiatus, and it's scheduled to take place October 27th to the 30th. 4 days of culinary delights. We're going to be bringing our international chef partners from the US, UK to take part in the festival, and of course, our local chefs and mixologists as well. And those details on food and rum will be coming very soon. I think the launch is taking place in 2 weeks. So you can keep following our social media channels and our website for more details on food and rum. And I'm sure that you don't want to miss this amazing culinary festival in Barbados. And we're going to be launching a new short excursion platform for cruisers to the island. And this platform will enable cruisers and travel advisors to go online after you book the cruise and purchase short excursions in Barbados. This initiative was developed with the aim of, exposing our international market to all of what Barbados has to offer. We know that at times cruise lines, there are limited experiences, or they may be activities online that they don't offer. So we're trying to expose all of our markets to all of the amazing immersive experiences that Barbados has to offer, from culinary to heritage to ecotourism to sports. I know that there are groups that travel, they do water tourism. So participating in a number of those activities through being able to book directly with our suppliers and to our workers on island. So consumers will be able to book directly themselves, or for you, the travel partners who takes care of those arrangements for your guests. You will be able to go onto the platform. There will be a travel advisor portal, and you'll be able to go onto the platform and book those excursions for your guests. And of course, there will be commissions tied to you booking those experiences. And we're looking at offering commissions between 10 to 12% for travel advisors. And along with that, to ensure that you are well versed in how to use the platform, we will be developing a training module as well. And of course, at some point, we will be publishing that module, and we will be setting up a number of sessions to take you through, the functionality of it. So we're still in the developmental stages, but keep listening out, and we will be making those announcements very soon, because we want to have it up and running, of course, before the beginning of our winter cruise season. And as I said, we can't deliver a message without talking about pre and post stays. So be sure to book those pre and post stays for all of your guests who are flying to take a cruise from Barbados, and even for your guests who are coming to Barbados on a transit call. I'm sure that the vacation experience will be so amazing that they'll want to come back to the island for a long stay. And of course, a range of accommodations on the island, from the very basic type of accommodation, and all of our accommodation stays on the beachfront, so you don't have to come to Barbados and hope to see the beach. All of our hotels, even villas, offer that oceanfront type experience. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to hand over now to my colleague Kyle to tell you about some of the activities that his team is undertaking out of the US market.
Thank you for the warm introduction, Tia, and a pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kyle Gittins, and I'm a Business Development Officer with the BTMI, currently based in New York. And I currently have responsibility for DC, Maryland, Virginia, and the state of New York. And today I would like to share a bit about the activities that we have going on from a sales and marketing perspective, and also looking forward to working closely with you as we identify potential opportunities for us to collaborate. So from a US perspective, we continue to work very closely with yourselves, the travel agent community, in an effort to remain top of mind among our competing destinations, and also to drive business from key markets across the United States of America. We have a range of activities that we engage in, targeted both at the travel trade community and the consumer, in an effort to drive business, as I mentioned, from key areas within the United States. And at present, we have significant activity taking place in the tri-state area, Washington, DC, Florida, just to name a few. And this activity ranges from destination trainings with yourselves, our travel trade partners, lunch and learn sessions. We also have an active presence at many trade and consumer events across the United States as well. Anything to push the message about Barbados. And then, of course, we depend heavily on you to drive that business to the destination. Other activities include webinars, destination trainings, as I mentioned before, key sales calls, activities in different markets across the United States. And then a lot of our activity is also focused around our niche product offering as well. As a tourist board, a number of our activities are typically centered around the interests of our key target markets. And through having a personal and strategic relationship with yourselves, the travel agent community, to drive business to the destination. So some of these markets include the empty nesters. These are the ones who have kids that are now grown up. So they have the disposable time and they have the disposable resources to take holidays, and also represent a significant amount of business to the destination at present. From a US perspective, we've seen a trend in multi-generational families as well, even pre-COVID-19. So we continue to actively pursue opportunities within this important family market as well. We've been seeing growing interest from a millennial travel standpoint as well, and you are quite familiar with our product offering. We have a diverse mix of product on the island that can actively engage this all-important audience as well. The digital nomads, those remote workers, this represented a significant amount of our business, especially during the COVID pandemic. And we still have a number of families from the US on island as well who had taken up the opportunity to work remotely from the beautiful island of Barbados. The diaspora market as well is a very important source market for us. And there's an old adage on island: everywhere you go across the globe, you're sure to find a Barbadian. And this is very true and present in the US as well, with very concentrated areas in Miami, New York, Florida, as well. You know, all over the US, you can find those Barbados communities there. And then, of course, the all-important cruise traveler market, which represents a significant component of our business, especially during the winter period, as my colleague Tia would have alluded to earlier, and also forms a very important part of the US's strategy to convert these travelers into long-stay visitors to the destination. And for this to happen, we are heavily reliant on yourselves as a travel agent community. A lot of our activities in market is also centered around the experiences that can be enjoyed on island in Barbados. So from a culinary perspective, Barbados is referred to as the culinary capital of the Caribbean. We hold the distinction of being the only island to be rated by Zagat. So it speaks to the quality of our food and beverage offering on island, from street food up to fine dining. You're definitely spoiled for choice. Health and wellness, this is a great segment, and especially emerging from the COVID-19 pandemic. So a number of experiences that can be enjoyed on island. We have the all-important romance market as well. Sports is very important. We have an active events and festivals calendar, which we have events such as the Run Barbados, the open water swim as well. So if you are on island or your clients are on island at any given time, you know, they can also consider some of these experiences. Our heritage and culture as well plays a real significant component in our product offering and distinguishes us from other competing destinations as well. We have the all-important soft adventure market. And I like to say, you know, I was born in Barbados, lived in Barbados for the most of my life. And every time I come back home to Barbados, there's always something new to enjoy on island. Just to briefly run through some of our proposed niche activations as well. We mentioned culinary, romance, and heritage, a significant component of our product offering. So we've been hosting a number of restaurant takeovers across the United States. Most recently, I was in Washington, D.C. the first week of May, and we took over the restaurant Jackie and offered an authentic Barbados experience there. We brought up our mixologists, we brought up our chefs, and you were in for a treat at that particular event. We also have an active presence at various culinary events and food festivals across the US as well, namely the Greenwich Food and Wine Festival and the Aspen Food and Wine Festival, just to name a couple. And we're always looking to build strategic brand partnership with key partners within this niche segment as well. And of course, having our pop-up events just to give you a taste of what we have to offer on island. We attend various trade shows from a romance standpoint as well to encourage that wedding and honeymoon business. Me personally, I've had an opportunity to attend a number of weddings on cruise ships that were docked on island. And it's important as well for those guests on island to enjoy what the destination has to offer as well. And of course, heritage and culture, we always look to actively partner with a number of associations across the US as well to give you a bit of a taste of Barbados and show the connection of Barbados and the US as well. From sports, we actively engage our partners as well. And a lot of these activities are again centered around some of the sporting activities that you can find on island. And we also look to tap into that premier sports market. So whether it's golf and polo, we support a lot of activations in the United States and have a lot of strategic partnerships with clubs across the US as well. The meetings and incentives market is a very important market for us. We have an active presence at various trade shows that takes place across the US, whether it's IMEX or Exchange, we are always there. And of course, supporting some of our smaller niche segments as well, such as Dive with our participation at DEMA. And these types of activities or our presence at these type of trade and consumer shows also presents an opportunity for you to come on board with us, because if we have a travel trade representative on stand, you know, they can manage the queries that we have from our consumers attending these events and also to facilitate bookings there and then as well. So if we are in an area close to you and you know that we're there and you would like to partner with us on some of these activities or join us on stand, you are more than welcome to do so as well. Just to highlight some of the ongoing events and activities that we currently have planned across our key markets in the US includes Barbados Evenings, and some of the targeted regions include New Jersey, California, and Pennsylvania. We have a very active sales calls presence as well, and what we like to term as lunch and learn sessions, where we can come into your agencies and train your team. We can even partner with you to host consumer evenings for your top clients as well. We are more than happy to partner with you with these type of opportunities. And some of the areas that we are looking to target will be in New Hampshire, California, Boston, New York, Florida, and DMV areas as well. But if you are situated outside of these listed areas, you can just reach out to us, and if there's an opportunity, we'd be more than happy to have that BTMI presence there. Our roadshow series will be targeting the southeast and northeast regions of the US, inclusive of Florida, North Carolina, and Georgia, and the DMV area, New York, and Pennsylvania as well. And this is where we bring a taste of Barbados to you. So we select premier venues across the specific city. We extend invitations to the travel trade community where they have an opportunity to learn about what we have to offer in Barbados, product updates as well. And then we usually bring a taste of Barbados literally for you. So we work with leading chefs on island and also mixologists to recreate that Barbados experience in that specific city. Fam trips are very important for us as a market as well. And how I like to term this is the best way for you to recommend a destination to your clients is if you two had the opportunity to experience it and then recommend based on first-hand experience. A lot of our fam trips at present are centered around events that take place on island. As you mentioned, Tia mentioned previously, we have Crop Over coming up. We have other events like Run Barbados as well. And then we work with specific agencies as well to have these types of experiences. So if you have, say, for example, a relatively new team, we'll be happy to work with you to bring some of your newer members down to Barbados and experience the product of Barbados as well, so then that they can recommend the beautiful island to your clients. We also have the Barbados ELITE Club platform. We host a number of virtual sessions on this platform, and I will go into more detail on this on my next slide. But this is where the platform where you can learn about Barbados and also be incentivized for booking Barbados as well. And as I mentioned previously, as a destination, we attend a number of trade and consumer shows as well. And we are opening an invitation, as I said, for you to join us at these specific events as well. On the right of your screen, this is just an example of some of the activations as well that we have going on, and actually taking place this week is Barbados Week in New York. We kicked off the week with a service of Thanksgiving and celebration, and then we brought a taste of oysters to Brooklyn as well. That event took place on Monday, and basically if you're familiar with the destination, Oysters is one of 4 towns in Barbados which comes to life on Fridays and Saturday nights. So we had our street food vendors set up in Brooklyn. We had authentic Caribbean music as well. And then we had presence by some of our leading chefs in the likes of Craig Greenwich, Damian Leach from Cocktail Kitchen, and also Javon Cummins. And we had mixologist Philip Casanova as well on hand to bring that taste of Barbados for you. And then other specific events targeting the travel agent community in terms of our Bajans Safari, and then also events targeting the media and diaspora as well. So this is just a little taste of what we bring to the market and how you can partner with us. I made mention of our Barbados ELITE Club, and the ELITE Club is our learning and loyalty program. So once you register with the program, you insert your information, your details, your contact information and such like that. And then there are various training modules on this platform as well. And then once you make a booking to the destination, you earn points, which can be redeemable in terms of fam trip opportunities and stuff like that. So, it's very important for us to stay tuned with you guys. It's important for us to bring you product updates as they come to hand, and also, to reward you for your commitment to the destination as well. And I know Tia will be introducing a platform similarly dedicated to cruise, but we'll be here to support you in any way as we can from a US perspective as well. And then you can join our Barbados ELITE Club platform also on Facebook, where if you have any queries or for timely up-to-date updates on product development on island, you can have that real-time exchange with members of the team in the US as well. So we encourage you to sign up, learn about Barbados, log your bookings, and earn your rewards and opportunities to visit the destination as well. So that concludes my presentation. My contact details are outlined in the bottom left. My email address is kyleg@visitbarbados.org, and my mobile number is there as well. So if you have any queries coming out of this session, you can feel free to reach out to myself or Tia, and we'll be happy to field those questions for you. So thank you. And I now pass you off to Richard.
Thank you so much, Carl. Hello, good afternoon or good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is such a great pleasure to be here today. And thank you so much for this opportunity to be here chatting with you about all things Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection. So just to give you a brief introduction about myself, my name is Richard Whitaker. I'm actually originally from South Africa, but now live in Amarillo in Texas. And I'm coming to you with over 10 years of onboard frontline, if you will, experience with the cruise industry. And I'm the manager of strategic accounts for the Western USA, Western Canada, and the Asia Pacific region, along with my colleague and counterpart overseeing the Eastern US, Eastern Canada, as well as Latin America, Ray Huynh. And we're happy to be your points of contact here at the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection as we move into the future together. So without further ado, let me introduce or reintroduce you to our very first yacht, the EVRIMA. Now, EVRIMA is Greek and stands for discovery. And this is such an apt name when you consider that not only will your clients be experiencing and discovering these unique yachting destinations with us, but this is really also a voyage of discovery, if you will, for the Ritz-Carlton brand as a whole, as we pioneer the first move of a luxury hotel into the cruise industry. And that's why the overriding concept behind our luxury super yachts is to have that gold standard of service, that Ritz-Carlton residential feel while at sea. I am also so excited to share that EVRIMA recently completed her sea trials, and we are so excited for her inaugural sailing date on August 31st this year. Now, just to run through a few numbers with you, the EVRIMA is just over 600 feet long with 149 all terrace suites on board. And I will get back to that in just a moment. And these 149 suites translate to just under 300 guests. Now, the two ratios that we see here are really so important, and let me just briefly explain why. The first ratio we have is our nearly 1-to-1 crew to guest ratio. And this is so important because it really underscores our commitment to maintaining that luxury, that Ritz-Carlton residential feel, and that high level of personalized service. The other ratio that we have here is this 1 to 85.2 guest to space ratio, which incidentally is actually one of the highest in the industry. And this is such an important ratio because not only does it illustrate how your clients won't have to feel that press of the other 300 guests on board, but in this day and age of health and safety awareness, it's really a fantastic selling point and a great reassurance to your clients to know that they have this potential safety bubble, if you will, when they do voyage with us. So I often get the question, what separates the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection from the Ritz-Carlton brand as a whole? And one of the points that immediately comes to mind would be our all-inclusive value. Now that said, different cruise lines do have different perspectives when it comes to all-inclusiveness. And of course, we are no different. Our version of an all-inclusive package would include such aspects as multiple dining experiences, beverages in suite and throughout the yacht, our onboard activities and entertainment, the onboard gratuities, as well as the Wi-Fi. Some of the points that we won't find in our all-inclusive package would be such things like our intimate curated shore collection, the Ritz-Carlton spa treatments, as well as reservations with our Michelin-inspired specialty restaurant, SEA, which brings me quite nicely to my next slide. So on the EVRIMA, your clients can expect to enjoy 10 unique dining experiences. And considering the size of our vessel, that's really an incredible amount. And these range from our light bite options in the bar or the Marina terrace when it's open, to open seating venues such as our Asian fusion restaurant, Talat Nam, and our intimate main dining venue, the EVRIMA room. And then finally, as I mentioned, we also have our Michelin-inspired fine dining specialty restaurant, SEA. And here your clients will be able to indulge in a 5-course wine-paired culinary experience. The SEA restaurant will seat only 26 guests, so your clients can also expect to enjoy a very intimate fine dining experience. This is actually an ideal location for those of your clients who are foodies or who have an intimate celebration planned. One thing to note here is reservations for SEA will be available for your clients up to 120 days before their voyage starts. And I would definitely suggest that you recommend to your clients that they reserve their date of choice as soon as possible, since, as I mentioned, this is a very intimate dining venue and seats will move quickly. Moving on, let's get into a little bit more detail with regards to our suites. And I must say that our suites are just one of the many aspects of the EVRIMA that really do set us apart. Now, every single one of our suite categories will have access to a personal concierge who will only be a phone call away. And this is really just an example of the amenities that will be attached to our suites. So just to go into a little bit more depth, first we have our owner suites with over 1,000 square feet of interior space and over 600 square feet of this beautiful wraparound terrace with not only a whirlpool outside, but a beautifully appointed interior, as well as a separate dining space that can seat 6, a lounge area, and of course, your bedroom with ensuite bathroom. We have our stunning view suites with these beautiful floor-to-ceiling windows running along the entire length of the suites. And with one-way glass, your clients will be able to relax in the suite as they watch the ocean pass by or the EVRIMA sail into port. We also have our 14 grand suites and 27 signature suites with their pocket doors to separate the bedroom from the rest of the social spaces. Especially of note here is the unique layout that the grand suite has, and that it actually comes with his and hers walk-in closets. And this feature is actually only found again in the owner suites. Also, if you take a look at one of the bottom right pictures there, you can see the stunning bathroom with its double vanity sink, soaking tub, as well as a walk-in shower. Now, every single one of our suites does come with the double vanity as well as the walk-in shower. On top of that, of our 6 suite categories, 5 of these suite categories also come with the soaking tub. The only category where we won't find the soaking tub will be our terrace suites. And so last but certainly not least, we have 90 of our entry-level terrace suites with an interior space of 300 square feet and a terrace space of up to 81 square feet. So ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is the worst you could possibly do on board, and it's on par with anything at the property level. As I mentioned previously, every one of our suites does come with its own ocean view terrace, ranging from just over 600 square feet with our owner suites to up to 81 square feet with the terrace suites. One other point I would like to mention here is that we do have 3 ADA suites on board, 1 signature suite category and 2 terrace category suites. And these suites are going to be ideal for those of your clients who might need assistance or are perhaps requiring a wheelchair while sailing with us. So now we come to one of the truly epic aspects of the EVRIMA, and that is our multifunction marina platform. And this is really one of the aspects of the yacht which will just blow you away. When the EVRIMA is at anchor, and of course weather and port authorities permitting, we will be able to release the marina platform. And this will really allow your clients to have that special yachting experience of either lounging on the platform or perhaps enjoying the handcrafted cocktails and light bites that can be found at the marina terrace, only a few steps above. Your clients will have access to a number of non-motorized water sports here, such as paddleboarding, kayaking, and windsurfing, just to name a few. And now moving on to our itineraries. So before I get into too much detail about where we're going and when we're going there, I just want to briefly talk about the concept behind our itineraries. So the focus for us is all about having a relaxed pace, not rushing from port to port, and really having your clients immerse themselves in the destinations that they visit. And for us, that really translates into more overnights. We have a focus on early arrivals and late departures. We also have land package options available pre and post cruise. You'll find that many of our voyages are 7 nights, and that's because we found that that's really the ideal voyage length for the majority of our guests and the working families who are interested in sailing with us. So while we do have some 10-night voyage options, some 5-night voyages, the majority of our sailings are going to be 7 nights. That's not to say if your clients are looking for longer voyage options, we do have a continuous itinerary, which means we don't actually have a home port, and the ports we visit will constantly be changing. And of course, that means that your clients can combine 2 back-to-back voyages without having to be concerned about visiting the same ports. So just to give you a brief overview of where we're going to be and when, you can expect us to be in the yachting playgrounds of the Mediterranean during the summer months, before crossing the Atlantic to the Caribbean and visiting Central America as we go through the winter. And then in a similar movement, we'll be heading back to the Med from April to November next year, after which you'll find us again in the Caribbean. So we currently have a total of 20 itineraries available right now that do include Barbados as a destination. And I'm going to just take this opportunity to run through a few options that will be coming up this year, next year, as well as in 2024. Firstly, we have this 12-night transition voyage starting in Lisbon on November 5th this year and finishing in Bridgetown, Barbados. And on this voyage, your clients can enjoy an overnight in Tenerife, where they'll have the opportunity to explore the colonial towns there, the unique wines and vineyards, and even a round of golf at the Ritz-Carlton, Obama. We also have this 5-night voyage from Barbados to St. Martin. starting on November 22nd this year. So here we'll be going to such choice destinations like Soufriere and Deschamps before finishing our cruise in Philipsburg, St. Martin. Moving into our 2023 itineraries, you can see, as I mentioned, many of our voyages are 7 nights with a few 5 nights and 10-night options available as well. So in 2023, we'll be in Central America and the Caribbean through to April, and then back again in the Caribbean starting mid-November. Now, an interesting itinerary option that we have available in 2023 would be the 7-night Barbados round trip, starting on March 19th next year out of Bridgetown. And here we'll be going to some fantastic destinations such as Fort-de-France in Martinique. We're going to Bequia and St. Vincent in the Grenadines, as well as Charlottesville in Trinidad and Tobago. Another great itinerary option available would be the 7-night Barbados to Aruba voyage on November 26th next year. So here we'll be stopping again at Bequia before moving on for an overnight in Willemstad in Curaçao, and then finishing our voyage in Aruba. We also do have our recently released portion of 2024 Caribbean sailings, where your clients will really have the chance to explore and experience those incredible yachting destinations around such locations like the Caribbean, the Windward and Cayman Islands, as well as, of course, Bermuda and the Azores, and not to mention Barbados and Bridgetown as well. Right now, all of our bookings are actually made directly through our reservation agents based out of the US and Malta, and they will be able to go into a lot more detail with regards to itinerary information as well as the pricing. Next, I'd like to make a reference to the health and safety requirements your clients can expect to find on board. But before I go into too much detail here, I would just like to preface this by saying that these policies are continuously adjusting to the required protocols of the industry. It's highly likely that what we have in place right now is not necessarily going to be what's in place when we or your clients sail. That being said, as of right now, we will require proof of vaccination, testing requirements prior to boarding and at certain points throughout the voyage, safe sailing best practices. There is contact tracing and isolation protocols. We have extra safety measures while your clients are ashore. And we also highly recommend your clients get travel insurance, as especially in this day and age, the health and safety climate throughout the world is ever changing. As we're coming into the end of the presentation, I would just like to mention that if you haven't registered yet for our travel professional portal, I would highly recommend doing so, as this will really give you access to not only tracking your bookings and seeing existing inventory, but it will also give you access to a large amount of fantastic learning resources and tools that will assist you in selling us. Finally, I'd just like to say that we are always available to you should you need any form of assistance or support. You are more than welcome to reach out to either Ray or myself for anything, and I look forward to hearing from you in the future. Thank you so much for your time for this presentation.
Thank you all so much, and we can get to some questions. I invite everybody to keep them coming in. Our first one should be a pretty easy one from Monica, who is wondering what is the best time of year to visit Barbados?
So that will be January to December. I mean, Barbados is a club. Obviously, you could jump in here at any time. Barbados is always open. The one that's always great. I mean, obviously, we're in the Caribbean. If you look at a map of the Caribbean, you would notice that Barbados sits outside of the island chain, and that's a plus because most major tropical storms and hurricanes, because of our position, they bypass us to the north. So even though we're in the Caribbean, we're not affected with a lot of the bad weather that comes through the region. So, I mean, you don't have to be fearful of the hurricane season or summer. I mean, summer, what better time to be in Barbados than during the summer? As I mentioned during my spiel, we have our summer festival running. The beach is always open. The sun is always shining, even when it's liquid sunshine. It's not really rain, it's liquid sunshine. There are a number of events that take place on the island throughout the year, from sports, cultural events, you name it. Barbados has it all. Carl, I don't know if there's anything that you want to add there.
Well, you pretty much painted an accurate picture, and I was going to support you by saying, you know, despite whatever time of year you come, there's always something going on island, from a sporting perspective, from a festivals perspective, from an events perspective as well. So I would just also like to highlight, you know, in terms of the diversity of our product, you know, at any point, you know, you can visit our restaurants or many attractions opened year round. So always something to do, always something to see, always something to experience.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. This next question is for Richard. Good thing you are still sharing your screen. We have a few people wondering if you could go back a few slides to the Ritz-Carlton enrollment website screen.
Absolutely. Let me just hit back there.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And Ronera is wondering what the longest sail date for Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection is.
That's an excellent question. I know we do have. Are we asking how long the voyage length is?
I believe so. Yes.
Then we have a 13-night voyage. Often, as is common in the cruise industry, many of our longest voyages will be our transition sailings when we make that move from Caribbean to the Mediterranean and back again.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Our next question is from Jessica, who is wondering how Barbados is for people with accessibility and mobility issues.
Kyle, you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure, definitely. We have a lot of work to do as it relates to accessible tourism, but to be completely honest, we are heading in the right direction. Many of our hotel plant on island currently caters to the accessible travel market, and then we have a number of concierge services as well that can provide bespoke experiences on island for clients with disabilities. We also have an initiative taking place on island called Fully Accessible Barbados, which outlines a number of the restaurants, hotels that cater to this unique market, and also a number of the excursions and activities that they can engage in while here in Barbados as well.
I'd add to that as well. Quite a few of the transportation providers on the island have accessible vehicles, and that includes transportation providers offering tours from the airport and the seaport as well.
Okay, thank you. And I believe this is one of our last questions. We have a few people wondering if you can repeat the vaccination requirements to get into Barbados.
So we currently, so in order to be fully vaccinated, you must have the full dose of whatever vaccine it is that you would have taken. And then, of course, the 2 weeks post the last dose. I can't remember all of the vaccines off the top of my head, but they are on our website, on the travel protocol section. So Barbados is accepting all of the major vaccines under the WHO. And once you pass the 2 weeks incubation period following the final dose, then you're considered fully vaccinated.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And it looks like those are all of our questions. And I did put in Tia, Kyle, and Richard's emails into the chat, so you all have those, and I will email those contacts to everybody as well. So don't worry if you didn't jot them down. But thank you so much, everybody, for joining us, and thank you everybody that presented for all of the wonderful information.
Yes, thank you, Anna, for hosting us. And I just want to close by saying that travel partners and travel agents are a big part of our business. Our success is in large part due to you guys and your efforts. And we want to thank you so much for everything that you have done for Barbados pre-COVID, through COVID, and we thank you for all the business that you'll be sending to Barbados as we emerge from the pandemic. So thank you all so much, and we look forward to working with you going forward.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your week, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.